Good morning, everybody. It's another wet, ugly, dreary day here in East Tennessee. We had some days of beautiful weather in the 60s in February. It actually got up to 71 degrees yesterday. And now we've slingshot back into some cold and wet. But that doesn't mean we don't have things we've got to do. So today's going to be kind of busy. I'm filming this on a Friday again, which means that I need to head on over to the parents so I can do some cleaning for grandma and sit with her and do some things with her. So I've got kind of a busy morning, which means we're gonna pull out a make it now and bake it later so that I don't have to worry about dinner. Now I've got a little bit of a different one this time. This is going to be saucy pork chops, but you'll see that it doesn't have like anything besides the pork chops. This one is not a casserole in the traditional sense. Therefore, I am going to put some sides with it. Lucky me, I already got a salad in the refrigerator that I made yesterday, so I'll just have to put some veggies with it. Now, I've got everything out that I need, my pork chops, all of my ingredients, so all we have to do is put this together and we can pour it over the pork chops. Now, I do have one missing ingredient. I forgot to get the lemon, and I don't want to drive all the way into town, which is about a 30-minute drive for me, just to get one lemon. So I'm going to substitute some lemon juice, and we'll hope that that kind of approximates it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get all of this together, and then we can pour it over our pork chops. All right, we're gonna start by putting all of our ingredients in here together so we can give it a good mix. So I've got the ketchup. I'm gonna go ahead and add the water to that. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of lemon juice in at this point, but skip this step if you remembered to get the lemon. Now we've got our salt, our brown sugar. This is the dry mustard. And then we've got our chili powder. And all we got to do is mix all this together, and that's it. So this is a really simple recipe that comes together really quick. So if you've got a busy morning, this is a really good one to fall back on. This one's also really nice because you don't have to pre-cook anything before you begin. So I just pulled these pork chops out of the freezer last night, and now I just got to pour the sauce over and we're basically done. And now all we have to do is add our onion slices, and this will go in the refrigerator and wait for us to come back in the evening. And we're done. That was pretty painless. So now that that's safely stowed away in the refrigerator, we can go ahead and go about our day. So I'm going to head on out so I can get to cleaning and spending time with Mama. And when we come back, I'll show you a little bit of that cookbook and why I actually like it. Now, remember last week, I kind of said, I could have skipped number 3. I don't think there's a whole lot in here that, we would eat, but number 4 is a different story, and I'll show you why. And then, of course, we will have our taste test. So let's go ahead and head out so we can get things done. And I'm back from all the work I did over there at the parents' house. Now, I decided not to film over there like I did last week. Mama was pretty tired today, so we just kind of took it easy, did some easy art projects, did a little bit of writing practice and stuff like that. So I kind of decided to just let her be and not film it. But I am back and thought we better get these pork chops started and in the oven. So I've got my oven preheating. I'm going to stick them in there soon, and then we're going to look at this cookbook. So here's our pork chops. They are waiting for the oven. And you may be wondering why I'm showing you a giant jug of water sitting on my counter right now. But I'm not gonna tell you because it's gonna be a really cool surprise. I'm gonna be taking you on a field trip very soon to show you exactly what that water is and why it's so special. I think you're going to love it. I cannot wait to take you there because when I discovered it, it was so fun. Me and Mom just cannot wait to go back there. It's so cute. So I'm going to stop talking about it now because I don't want to let slip anything. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to try to ignore that water until I can actually take you to where it's at. But let me go ahead and show you this cookbook. And we have the Make It Now, Bake It Later #4 by Barbara Goodfellow. Now, I probably will be on the lookout for #5 and 6 on eBay. I thought about getting the cookbook that's got, all of it in one compilation, but I've already got these little, booklets, and I kind of hate to not have them matching, so I'll probably just get 5 and 6 later. So here we have a copyright of 1970. It says, "More make-aheads, all tasty and fun." Now, this one does not have an earlier copyright anywhere, so this one, I think I might have gotten a first edition of this particular one. We have some main dishes, vegetables, salads, desserts, cookies, and we're back to our odds and ends. Now, this one, unlike #3, I actually really liked #4, and there are lots of recipes in here that, probably fit my lifestyle a little bit better, ones that I would eat more. You've got ones that have more affordable cuts of meat instead of like the crab and lobster and that kind of thing from the previous one. Although a subscriber did comment underneath my last video to say that you can use imitation crab, shrimp, and lobster, and it would probably taste really good. I've had imitation crab before. I did enjoy it. So yeah, I think that would be a really viable option for you if you live in an area like mine and really don't have access to really good fresh seafood. This one seemed kind of interesting. Chicken, coffee, and cheese. Now, it does seem like an odd set of ingredients, but you know what? Since it's Barbara Goodfellow, I kind of think it would taste really good. This biscuit pie looked really good. You've got dinner in a packet. This one looks really simple. And as with the previous cookbook, she does give you some casseroles that would feed, people that you might invite over, like a small party. And she also has some interesting vegetable dishes that, when our garden starts coming in this summer, something like this baked zucchini would probably be really good. This is something, I would probably try, around the time you get all those zucchinis in that you don't know what to do with. We've got some dressings. So this one has some really interesting things to it. I think this dressing for fruit salad sounds really good and interesting. And she has a ton of desserts in here that you could actually freeze and then, pull out when you've got company coming. So you can actually have something ready, a couple weeks ahead of time. So you don't have to worry about making a big dessert the day of your party. So #4 is one that I'm actually going to return to and make several things out of this. And I think you would really like this one too. And I almost forgot, for any of you interested in what happened to all those little seedlings that was in that egg crate, look at how many I got. I had to repot them as they were starting to get, a little bigger, needing some more room, so I could go ahead and put them out in the greenhouse on good days. And you can see I've got so many. And if you remember, there were also tons of little tomato seedlings in there. So I separated all of them out. I've got them in bigger pots. And we also have that beautiful cilantro. Look how big he's getting. There's the parsley. He's put out his true leaves. And then we've got some other basil over there. And because I'm hooked and I just can't stop, I decided to start another egg crate. So I've got some hibiscus on this row, which look how big they're getting. I've got some cutting celery, and we've also got some little tiny baby St. John's wort. You can see all of them growing up in that row. And in this row right here, I've got some feverfew. That right there, the two little tall ones are lovage. And then I've also got some lime basil. And then this one right here is a little pepper plant that I got for free for ordering so many seeds. So we'll see what he does. But look at that. I've got so much growth. So this kind of turned into a little bit of a twofer deal because we're also going to taste test this and let you know if this is a product that's worth picking up. I got this from Aldi's. You can see it's gluten-free garlic toast. Each little toast comes individually wrapped. And this is what it looks like before you toast it. You can see it's got the butter, garlic, and maybe some parsley, I'm not sure, on top. So I'm gonna toast this up. We're gonna have this with our dinner, and that way we can tell you if this is actually something that you might wanna eat, if you need to be gluten-free. All right, they're done. We're gonna go ahead and pull them out. Ooh, it smells good.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Oh, look at that. We have got some saucy chops. So we're gonna go ahead and plate this up and then we will do our taste test. And this one, I'm really looking forward to this one. This looks like it's gonna be good. Okay. We're excited to try this.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got a twofer. So Mitch, you'll have to give your opinion on the gluten-free bread from Aldi also. Mm-hmm. But let's go ahead and start with the pork chop because that's the main reason why we're all here.
Yeah.
By the way, it just kind of just melts. It just like falls
Even
off.
Pulling it out of the pan, it like didn't want to come out as one pork chop.
No.
It was like multiple pieces.
Is that quite possibly the best pork chop we've ever had?
Yeah, maybe.
I think I like these better than even ye old pork chop dipped in milk and then breadcrumbs.
Like fried,
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like it better than a typical fried.
Tender. Oh my gosh, it's so tender. Yeah. Oh man. That just gets better with every bite.
Like, I didn't know you could get that kind of tender out of a meat without, like, a pressure cooker or a smoker or something.
I know. Yeah. And the savoriness of the... Oh, my gosh. This was probably the most perfect balance of ingredients, I think, for a pork chop that I've ever had.
Wow. Yeah?
I mean, this is something that I will definitely be making again.
I hope so.
I know. Man, I am so... Okay, nope. I started to say I'm surprised.
We shouldn't be.
Well, we shouldn't be, because Barbara Goodfellow has proven herself time and time again with these little cookbooks. Her food... What is it about this food? It seems so... When you look at it, you're like, oh, well, that's kind of simple, or that's kind of odd, or oh, I wouldn't have thought to do it that way. And you're thinking, it's probably not going to be that good. And then all of a sudden, the end product just pulls together fantastically. Man, okay, I am so excited to have this in my recipe repertoire now.
Yeah. I'm glad for you to have it too.
Now, we're going to try our Aldi gluten-free garlic toast.
The garlic's not as strong as I would like it. I will say that. It's almost like I can barely, like, it smells garlicky, but I really can't hardly taste any garlicky in it.
I actually like it, but I think if you're like us and you just really love garlic, because when I make garlic toast, I mean, it's garlic toast. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to know that that's garlic toast. I would actually add some more garlic powder to it.
Yeah.
Before you stick it in your toaster. But on its, just on its own, just as something gluten-free to round out your dinner, I actually think it tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a nice butter flavor. The bread is nice and soft. It doesn't have that kind of weird gluten-free texture you can get sometimes. It toasted up really nice. It's not crumbly. I think all around it's actually a really good gluten-free product.
Yeah.
So if you can find it at Aldi, I would say go ahead and snatch it up and keep it in your freezer for when you just need something quick, to put together. That tastes good. But just with the caveat that if you really, really want that garlic flavor, just go ahead and throw some more garlic on there. I mean, we probably will with the next two slices that we have in there. So that wraps up this series of Make It Now and Bake It Laters. Now, I'll probably pull these back out in some future episodes because there's some other things in here when our garden starts coming in and things like that I would really like to try. So these are going to come back out in rotation. But for next month, we're again going to go through that big old stack of subscriber requests because there's so many of them. So we're going to go ahead and pull out more of those and see if we can find some more hidden gems like we did with that one. So thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope you really try this because you're absolutely going to love this. Stay tuned for next month because there'll be more hidden gems and we'll see you then. Bye.
And if you like historical cooking and unusual cookbooks, here's 2 more videos you might enjoy. And make sure to like and subscribe for more foodie adventures.